Hey, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of Simply Nourished, where we're going to be discussing Gut Health 101 so that you can feel less bloat, have better absorption of your food, and support your hormones as you enter this journey. This is our first test. I have some pretty funky little headphones that I'm just trying out that they don't actually go into your ears. So, this is our first attempt at using them to see if our audio can get a little bit more crisp because there's a lot of ambient noise going around from our neighbors and the neighborhood today. So let's give this a try. I also just wanted to say that I'm really excited about this one because we're diving into a topic that affects everything from our mood to our metabolism. Okay. But it also affects everything from our energy to our hormones and from our skin to our cravings. And I want to discuss all of this because it's all linked to our gut health. If you've ever felt really bloated after meals, dealt with inconsistent poop schedules, yeah, we're going to go there, had mysterious skin issues, or struggled with anxiety, fatigue, or brain fog, or you just feel like your hormones are totally out of whack, then this is absolutely for you. Because here's the truth: you can be eating all of the right foods, working out consistently, taking your supplements. But if our gut is inflamed or imbalanced, you're not going to be absorbing things as effectively and efficiently as possible. So let's break this down together in a way that makes sense and feels actionable for you because you guys all know me. If it doesn't make sense to do with our most valuable resource, which is time, then why are we going to do it? So, in section one, I want to talk about what actually is our gut health. You know, let's start with the basics basically. Everyone talks about gut health, gut health, gut health, but what actually is it? Gut health actually refers to the balance and function of the trillions of microbes that live in our digestive tract. These include bacteria, fungi, viruses, and even sometimes tiny parasites. I know. Ugh. Our first golden nugget here is that most of us don't really realize this, but you have more bacterial cells in your body than you do human cells. A 2016 report, or study, I should say, by Sender et al., found that we have roughly 38 trillion bacterial cells compared to about 30 trillion human cells. You are literally more bacteria than you are human. So let's get into it. Why do these little microbes matter? Because in our microbiome, we actually work with breaking down our food and turning it into absorbable nutrients. Our gut microbiome helps produce vitamins like B12, K2, and folate. They help regulate our immune system. They support detoxification through the liver and our bowels. They play a major role in our mood by actually producing over 90% of our serotonin, the happy hormone. And they communicate with our brain via the vagus nerve, which is that giant nerve that runs through the back of our spine. When the microbiome is healthy and diverse, everything runs smoother. When it's out of balance, called dysbiosis, okay, it can trigger inflammation, poor digestion, and even autoimmune responses. In Rinanella et al. In 2019, they actually emphasized that a diverse and well balanced gut microbiota is associated with better digestion, lower systemic inflammation, and improved hormonal function. So let's not just remember that it's not just about getting rid of the bloating, it's about thriving. So I also want to jump into this like signs as to why our gut health is off. It took me a while to prepare this talk, and I really want to get into the nitty gritty on these. Now that we kind of have an idea as to what our gut health is, and we can see how it impacts a huge amount of our body, I want to talk to you about how yours, or how to know if yours is compromised. Not that yours is, okay? Pardon me. You don't have to be diagnosed with something like IBS or Crohn's to even have a gut issue. A lot of the signs are sneakier, like everything in what we deal with. Hormones and microbes are like fickle little unicorns that, if you breathe the wrong way, will fly away. These are the 9 symptoms your gut needs, or this Let me say that. Here are 9 common signs that your gut needs some support. So, if we have a lot of digestive symptoms like gas, lower bloating, or bloating, especially in our lower belly, constipation or diarrhea, undigested food in the stool, feeling heavy, heavy, heavy after eating. Another is skin issues like eczema, acne, rosacea, dry or flaky skin, which is a bit tricky because that also goes hand in hand with a lot of hormone imbalances, right? It's hard to diagnose just on its own. It can also affect our mental and mood symptoms through brain fog, anxiety and depression, poor sleep quality, and it might be telling you through immunological symptoms such as like having often colds or infections or autoimmune flare ups. Your second golden nugget for today is that you don't need to have pain to have gut dysfunction. You could be inflamed or imbalanced with no obvious digestive issues at all. Turnbow et al. In 2009 found that individuals with higher fat mass had significantly lower gut microbiome diversity and increased inflammatory strains. This is true even when calories were controlled. So basically, if we're experiencing 2, 3, or more of these symptoms regularly, your gut might need a little TLC, and it might be worth a visit to the doc if it continues. Okay. In section 3, I want to discuss gut health, hormones, and metabolism in particular, because this is a very large topic, and I've done my best to kind of break it down into 3 subcategories. This is where, for me, things are very interesting, but our gut and our hormones are either besties or worst enemies. They become frenemies of sorts. Let's start with a few key connections. Number 1, the gut-brain axis. Not axes like throwing axes, but axis like on a chart. Your gut is often called your second brain. The vagus nerve connects the gut to the brain. And so if our gut is inflamed, it can trigger, I'm not saying this is the cause of in all cases, but it can trigger anxiety, depression, and irritability in certain individuals. Number 2 is estrogen recycling. Estrogen is detoxed, as we've discussed, through the liver and exits through the bowels. If your gut is sluggish or imbalanced, estrogen gets reabsorbed back into the system. This is called enterohepatic circulation, okay? And it can lead to estrogen dominance, which can give us things like increased PMS symptoms, can be one of the symptoms of endometriosis, and is one of the huge reasons for menopausal weight gain. The third section here is about inflammation and autoimmune flare-ups. When the gut lining gets damaged, okay, which is also called leaky gut, proteins and toxins leak into the bloodstream. This can trigger chronic inflammation and can worsen autoimmune issues like Hashimoto's, PCOS, and rheumatoid arthritis. Our third golden nugget here is that actually a healthy gut helps eliminate excess hormones, stabilize mood, reduce cravings, and improve nutrient absorption. A study by Plottle and Blazer, not Blottle, sorry, in 2011 found that certain bacterial strains directly influence estrogen metabolism and may increase or decrease the risk of hormone-related conditions. So, if our hormones are out of whack, then working on our gut is a very logical step. Last but not least, I want to give you 5 things that you can actually take with you into your day-to-day that is practical and easy to help improve our gut health, which is, let's be real, the good part of this whole chat. What can you actually do to start improving your gut health right away? Here are 5 powerful habits that we can sneak into our lifestyle. Number 1, most of you are already doing this, eating a fiber-rich, colorful plant-infused diet. So we want to aim for about 25 to 30 grams of fiber a day. Think chia seeds, lentils, broccoli, berries, sweet potatoes, flaxseed. These feed the beneficial bacteria called prebiotics. Okay. Slavin in 2013 confirmed that fiber promotes regularity, feeds healthy bacteria, and regulates our appetite. Number two is, sometimes not snacking all day can be really convenient because our gut needs time to rest and clean itself between meals. And if somebody is having food every like half hour to an hour, constantly grazing, it can actually lead to bacterial overgrowth and slowed motility, aka slowed bowel movements. So, anybody who is dealing with slowed bowel movements, it might be better to try spacing out your meals every 3 to 5 hours if our blood sugar will allow it, okay? 3, we want to include fermented foods every day. This is something that I try to do as much as I can. So we want foods containing live probiotics because they help restore healthy bacteria. We can start small. A little bit of sauerkraut, a little bit of kimchi if you like this, plain Greek yogurts. Obviously, we can add stuff to the Greek yogurt to make it taste better. We can also look at miso, kefir. Those side products are all living with probiotics. In 2017, Marco et al. Found that fermented foods improved microbiome diversity and lowered inflammation markers. The fourth one is one that is so easy to do, staying hydrated. Especially if you need a little help, you can add in some electrolytes through like a pinch of sea salt, a sip of coconut water, and this will also help support bowel movements and hydration. Okay, obviously, water is also essential for digestion and elimination of said things. The fifth one is one that's easier said than done, and that is to manage your stress daily. Stress will literally change the permeability, aka the thickness of our gut wall. It slows digestion and decreases beneficial bacteria. So if you can just try 5 minutes of deep breathing, box breathing, prayer, journaling, or stretching, you can go watch one of Megan's videos on mindfulness, and this would be very beneficial to you. In 1992, Crucis and Gold linked chronic stress to increased leaky gut and immune disruption. So our fourth golden nugget here is that your gut doesn't just digest our food, it literally digests our life. So if you're always overwhelmed, your gut will be too. So now that you understand what your gut actually does, what the signs of some dysfunctions may be, and how it can impact our hormones and what we can do about it, I want you to pick one thing this week, one action step, one habit to implement. Add a fiber-rich food to every meal, cut out snacking for 3 days and eat 3 solid meals if that works for your gut. You can drink more water, introduce some electrolyte foods, add fermented foods just 2 to 3 times this week, and journal or breathe for 5 minutes before dinner. If you want actual things to see improvement, you should be tracking our symptoms. So bloating, moods, poops, energy, okay? And after a week or two, you might be surprised how much you can change in just a short amount of time. And if you need help figuring out what steps to take first, just message me. You know that I'm always here to support you. Our body is designed to heal. We just need to create the right conditions for it to thrive. And sweethearts, that concludes our Simply Nourished for this week. I hope that you got some benefit. If you learned anything interesting, let me know in the comments below, and I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.